Pennsylvania. From the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, Press Office. To you. Thursday, November 3, 2022, 10:14 a.m. Biden-Harris administration announces $53 million for 132 community air pollution monitoring projects across the nation. Pennsylvania selected applications. Primary applicant. Project states. Proposed EPA funding. Project description. City of Philadelphia. PA. $392,658. Recipient will deploy air monitors at 3 sites, which are located in environmental justice, EJ, areas near major emission sources. The project will produce results to fill gaps of monitoring data in these areas and will help in strategizing pollution reductions in overburdened communities. Clean Air Council. PA. $419,446. Recipient will develop and expand existing community-based air monitoring pilot projects in environmental justice communities along the industrialized I-95 corridor in Delaware County and southwest Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Community Foundation for the Alleghenies. PA. $499,145. Recipient will involve community members in the design of monitoring plans, deployment of monitoring equipment, data collection, engagement in community data sense-making, and coordination of communication and accountability campaigns so that air pollution conditions and community warning and protection capabilities advance in the Upper Ohio River Valley. CWF HQDC Clean Water Fund. PA. $340,880. Recipient will monitor the changing patterns of the air quality in their community in South Philadelphia. The air measurements will reveal and document the patterns of toxicity, and this data will support and empower their community to advocate for the sovereign right to environmental justice and equity. Frac Tracker Alliance. PA. $430,001. Recipient will deploy air monitoring equipment to better assess emissions from the increased shale gas industrial buildout and use that data to educate local community members, elected officials, and regulators on the need for a cumulative impact analysis requirement as part of all permitting procedures. Group Against Smog and Pollution Incorporated. PA. $499,781. Recipient will expand community-owned air monitoring networks to equip residents from across the region with local and accurate estimates of ambient air pollution exposure. Project builds on crowdsourced odor reporting data from over 1,000 unique individual reporters in the Smell PGH app, and monitoring networks facilitated by community groups throughout the southwestern Pennsylvania region. Jastec Development Services, Inc. PA. $333,121. Recipient will increase awareness of air pollution in targeted environmental justice communities of West Philadelphia. With the engagement of community members in the Overbrook/Winfield/Mill Creek/Mantua communities, the Breathe Right project will monitor 5 pollutants and analyze several heavy metals. Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. PA. $377,443. Recipient will install several monitors outside of transportation corridors, vulnerable populations, and local neighborhoods to gather air quality data. Project aims to gather critical data to help federal, state, and local partners identify sources of air pollution, clarify their relative contributions, and develop mitigation strategies to improve health outcomes for the people who live and work in the environmental justice communities along the waterfront in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. PA. $499,870. Recipient will partner with Lehigh University and Allentown communities to understand the air pollutants in neighborhoods and near sources by conducting air monitoring, identify likely sources and community health concerns, and work with the local community to sustain ongoing engagement in monitoring and activities that diminish health risks from air pollution. Promote PT Inc. DBA Protect PT. PA. $365,887. Recipient will expand Protect PT's air monitoring efforts in environmental justice communities in southwestern Pennsylvania to address the lack of knowledge about fossil fuel air emissions and their impact on quality of life for those living in counties that have been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Frac Tracker Alliance. PA. OWV. $495,301. Recipient will expand upon an ongoing community science project launched in 2020 that uses low-cost monitors to provide real-time data for a variety of pollutants associated with unconventional oil and gas development, UOGD, and petrochemical-related industries that have rapidly proliferated in the region. Community science has provided opportunities for increased participation and involvement and supported ongoing efforts to improve air quality in the region. Largest investment for community air monitoring in EPA history funded by President Biden's climate and economic plans. Washington, November 3, 2022. Today, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, announced that 132 air monitoring projects in 37 states will receive $53.4 million from President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act and American Rescue Plan to enhance air quality monitoring in communities across the United States. The projects are focused on communities that are underserved, historically marginalized, and overburdened by pollution, supporting President Biden's Justice 40 initiative. The air pollution monitoring projects are made possible by more than $30 million in Inflation Reduction Act funds, which supplemented $20 million from the American Rescue Plan and enabled EPA to support 77 additional projects, more than twice the number of projects initially proposed by community-based nonprofit organizations, state and local governments, and tribal governments. More than $4 million will be awarded to communities visited by EPA Administrator Michael Reagan during his first Journey to Justice tour. I've traveled across the country and visited communities who've suffered from unhealthy, polluted air for far too long. I pledged to change that by prioritizing underserved communities and ensuring they have the resources they need to confront long-standing pollution challenges, said EPA Administrator Michael S. Reagan. The air monitoring projects we are announcing today, which include the first EPA grants funded by President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, will ensure dozens of overburdened communities have the tools they need to better understand air quality challenges in their neighborhoods and will help protect people from the dangers posed by air pollution. These grant selections further the goals of President Biden's Justice 40 initiative and executive order, tackling the climate crisis at home and abroad, which directed that 40% of the overall benefits of certain federal investments flow to overburdened communities that face disproportionately high and adverse health and environmental impacts. By enhancing air monitoring and encouraging partnerships with communities, EPA is investing in efforts to better protect people's health, particularly those in underserved communities. The amount of the anticipated grant funding ranges from $57,000 to $500,000, which will enhance air monitoring in communities and establish important partnerships to address air quality concerns. More than half of the selected applications are from community and nonprofit organizations. Tribes are receiving 12% of the total funding for this competition. EPA will start the process to